Hi, Tricia Morris here at Club Scrap with the Take Flight Page Kit Workshop. I just love teaching these workshops because it's the culmination of so much planning and work, and then this is kind of like my coast to the finish line every month after we create the kit and have it printed and collated and prep all the goodies, and then I make the pages once, right? And then I'm just deciding how they're going to be made, and then I make the instructions, and then I just get to enjoy the whole process and see how easily everything comes together for you as you work through this. Now, if you're new to doing this, I don't want you to fret about the pacing. You can always adjust the pace of our process just by slowing down the playback speed on your YouTube channel. So feel free to do that. I have my instructions printed and ready to go here. I know a lot of Club Scrap members just follow along on their tablets or phones even. I'll take all of the goodies from the kit, maybe yours are still in the bag, and set those aside. What I'm looking for here is for you to have the photo mats and the papers separated out. And then I've got my guillotine trimmer ready to go, as well as my accordion pocket file. This is how we're gonna stay organized. If you don't have one of these, don't let that stop you from taking this class. Just maintain 4 piles and label them A, B, C, I'm sorry, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. And those are the numbers of the double page spreads we're working with, okay? So I'll just, every time we cut a piece of paper, I'll assign a pocket for that paper. We're gonna begin by sorting the photo mats out that came in this particular kit. And let's see, we need a dark blue, so 1 dark blue photo mat in pocket 1 and 2, or pile 1 and 2. We need 3 dark pink, 1, 2, 3, in pocket 3 and 4, and 1 light blue photo mat in pocket 3 and 4. Then 3 light pink photo mats in pocket 5 and 6, 2 light blue also 5 and 6, and then the remaining 2 dark blue going in pocket 7 and 8. So that's your little filing warm up. Hopefully that went well. If not, best part is you can rewind, right? Do they call it rewinding in a video? I don't know. Whatever it means to go back, push the back button. Okay, now we need to sort the papers in the order that we'll use them. So we're going to start with this one of these balloon prints. Okay, so just take one of them and put it face down on your trimmer, and then find the other print style, just one of them. We're calling this the collage print. We spend a lot of time trying to figure out what to name our prints every month because we want everyone to be able to figure out what they are. But you know, when in doubt, just watch the video. Then we have 1 dark blue next, and then 1 dark pink. Find that. From the back of your pile, there should be a couple of Cutaparts. The first one I want you to trim looks like this. It has the cute little cloudy sky border on it. And then you don't need wings to fly. This is the other one with the circles. I'm gonna put that face down. Next up, I want you to find 2 light blue. So your kit comes with 2, grab them both. It's a nice heavy weight. And then we have a dark pink, followed by this other collage print. So my hands are a little dry. It's January in Wisconsin. So this collage print face down. Next up, find the other balloon print, put that face down, followed by the remaining dark blue, and then 2 light pink. That should be all the things in your kit. And now they're in the order that we'll need them. I do this, take a few moments to do this at the beginning of each class because it just makes it easier. We're not hunting down a brand new sheet of paper every time. You just pull from a stack, and it seems to improve efficiency. And if you haven't noticed, I'm all about it. Okay, so now with this first balloon print, facing like right side up, put it in your trimmer. And if you're new to the trimmer, just remember that these are centimeters along the top row. We got inches in the second row here. And we want 5.5 inches. So find the 5 and then go left 2 of those columns, 5, 5.25, 5.5. And make sure your paper is resting along this top edge here, or it won't be straight with the blade and you'll have a crooked cut. That's not fun. Stabilize by pushing on that clear bar and slice. That's it. It's That's all there is to it for this one. So take both pieces you just created. We're going to place them in pockets 7 and 8. And the way I do this with these big pieces is do it from the side like this, so I can still see the label on the pocket. Again, if you're working with your piles on the table, no problem. The pocket organizer is handy because it's just right there and it's all stacked up using the vertical space that we have available to us. Now be careful here. Before we begin trimming this one, I want the stripes to be going horizontally, okay? Or like this clock should be on the left, lower left corner, kind of. Okay, so let's trim this at 9 and 5. This piece, place at an angle in pocket 1 and 2. And then grab the next one from the stack, and we're just going to cut this one in half at 6. Gather up both pieces, pocket 1 and 2, and believe it or not, this last strip, pocket 1 and 2. It all went in the same old pocket. All right, now we're moving on to the dark blue. We'll trim this one at 6 1/4, and then rotate. And we'll trim at 11 1/4, 8 1/2, and 4 1/4. So you're going to gather the two that are the same size that you just created, plus this rectangle here. All three of these pieces go in pockets 7 and 8, and then we do have a piece that I didn't find a home for, so this is a scrap. Now take the next strip, we'll trim this one at 11 1/4, 7 1/2, 3 3/4. And then you'll gather up the 3 rectangles that are the same and place those in pocket 3 and 4. And once again, I'm sorry to tell you, this is a little scrap. And we're moving on now to dark pink. We have a lot of strips to trim here, and in order to keep track of them, just a reminder, keep everything, just let it land and leave it, okay? Don't move it and slide it down, because then we're gonna lose track of what we created, and I'll just help you sort it all out at the end, okay? So trim at 11 and 10, 8 3/4, 7 1/2, 6 3/4, lots of cuts here, 6. Okay, now we're going to take the piece in the trimmer and rotate it. Some nice easy cuts for you here at 8 and 4. Gather the 3 4x6s you just made, place them in pocket 1 and 2, and then just pick up the entire stack that landed, trying to keep it in the order that it was when you created it, okay? I like to deal it from the hand if I can. So the first 2 pieces are pretty skinny. Those are going to go in pocket 1 and 2. The next 2 pieces are sort of the larger ones. Those go in pocket 3 and 4. And then we have 2 1-inch pieces left over. Those are going to go in 5 and 6. That's it for all of the plain and printed paper that we're trimming. Now we're moving on to Cutaparts. For my newbies here, I just want to explain that this sheet measures 2 1/4 by 2 1/4, or I'm sorry, 12 1/4 by 12 1/4. We have to just take one extra little step and remove the outer perimeter of this paper. The reason for that is when we trim this on a very, very large industrial trimmer, sometimes they don't land it exactly in the right spot, which then creates a butterfly effect of imperfection as we trim down the line, and I don't want that to happen. So we're just going to make these final cuts ourselves. So I'll start out by placing this in my trimmer and look for that little hash mark at the top, and you won't be able to see the blade at the bottom. I can see the blade at the top, but either way, I'm going to cut just a little shy of that hash mark. Well, I kind of nailed it, but it's not perfect. So I'm just gonna rotate. Now that I've made that first cut, I can see the edge of my blade both at the top and bottom of the sheet. So then I'll just rotate again, and this time again I can see it more easily. This time on this rotation I can look over at the 12, and that kind of lines me up nicely. And then one more little rotation to carve off just a hair. And by a hair, I almost literally mean a hair. And if you don't have this trimmer and you're just limping along with something, that doesn't work like that, think about picking up this trimmer. It's really fabulous. It's a great little workhorse for the money. You're going to get a lot of mileage out of it. It's not very expensive and it works great. Okay, so let's place this in the trimmer now with the strips on the right, these little mini prints here, and we'll cut at 11, 10, 8.5, 7, and 4. Now, when you rotate, just go this way, and we'll cut at 6. This piece goes in pocket 3 and 4, and then you have some elements here. Because I wasn't able to slice through them, I'm just going to take scissors and just do a rough cut to separate the images. And I'll point out to you that Jacqueline leaves a nice little glowing frame around these elements, so you can trim them out. They sort of look like stickers in the end, and you don't have to do all that fussy cutting along the edge of the artwork. You get a nice little frame. It looks really cool. So this largest blue balloon here, that goes in 3 and 4. Then the next balloon, 5 and 6. The key, 5 and 6. Okay, take the next strip here. We have the gears on a little journaling tag on the right. We'll trim at 10, then 8, and 6. All right, this goes in pocket 1 and 2. And then we have the key journaling prompt 3 and 4, the clock with wings 7 and 8, and the gears 1 and 2. Ready for takeoff, the clouds, both strips 7 and 8, and then the other remaining strips here 3 and 4. We have one more sheet of Cutaparts, worth the effort again. So we're going to remove that perimeter. So I'll start out by trimming shy of the line, rotate, and now I can see much better. And another rotation. I'll look at the 12 now, and I'm spot on the money. And my final shaving. Beautiful. Before we begin, just check your orientation on the sheet. Make sure the words "until you spread your wings" is on the right. So the skinniest strip will always fall off. And again, the practice would be to leave the paper accumulate to the right of the blade, and we'll tackle it one strip at a time. So 11 1/4, 10 1/2, 10, 9 1/2, 9, 8 1/2, 6, and 3. You don't need wings to fly. This strip goes in 5 and 6. This one, you can just trim it at 9, 6, and 3. And then with scissors or your favorite die cutting tool, your equipment that you have, or a punch, you can trim these into circles. Now, I did leave mine all together, and I trimmed them out on my die cutting equipment, but for this round, I'll probably use scissors. So either way will work. This one with the blue 1 and 2. Then we have the oval shaped balloon 7 and 8. The florals on 1 and 2. And then the pink balloon 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Okay, now we have this strip here. Life is a Beautiful Ride must be on the right. And we'll trim at 9. And then 6. Now you can see this is going to become a tag, and it has the white corners. So if you wanted to, now often I do this with my craft knife and cutting mat, but I just kind of close one eye and I line up the blade to match the margin of the other sides, and I just nip off the triangle. Works pretty quickly, easily, a nice straight cut. Almost seems to me more accurate than if I used a scissors. Okay, 7 and 8 on that. Fly high but stay grounded, 5 and 6. Life is a Beautiful Ride, 7 and 8. All right, a couple of little strips here. Now these end up getting trimmed out, so I'm just going to take my scissors and separate Take Flight, Fly High. Okay, ready for takeoff. These words, they go in 7 and 8. Fly high goes in 5 and 6. Take flight 1 and 2. And then I'll do this. There's just 2 left. Just wing it. Separate that out. So we rise by lifting others. That one's going to go in 3 and 4. And just wing it 1 and 2. All right, now we have these really, really skinny guys. Those go in pocket 1 and 2, and our final filing, you will have no idea how far you can fly. Okay, and until you spread your wings. Both of these, 5 and 6. Hooray, that's the end of our trimming. So all of the preparation, while it did take us about 15 minutes, which isn't bad if you think about it. Like, think about the time you're saving from having to shop and figure out all the papers you're gonna get. You just have the whole outfit to work with here, and it's going to be beautiful when we're done. The remaining papers now are the bases for all of our layouts. So I'm going to take the whole stack and remove the top sheet, slide it to the right so that I'm spreading them out in a double page spread style, okay? So this is basically the base now for layout 7 and 8. Notice I didn't say 1 and 2. We're going to work our way backwards, okay? So if I turn in my instructions to the last page at the bottom, it says layouts 7 and 8. And the first things listed, I will always list the first thing, would be what's the base and its role, left base and right base, okay? And there it is. How cool is that? And the reason for this is we're just going to dry fit right now. We're not going to stick anything down with adhesive. We're just going to distribute the items, talk through the page, any tips and tricks I have to share, and then we'll slide over to 5 and 6, 3 and 4, 1 and 2. So when we're done, you'll have a stack of everything you need to finish those pages all lined up. And at that point, you can stick everything down and finish your pages, or you can save it for another time, perhaps when you're with your friends at a crop. Everything will have been prepped, all the thinking and concentrating is over, and then you can enjoy the process of just assembling your layouts effectively while your friends watch in shock and admiration. All right, so this piece right here, this is gonna go flush with the left edge, and then this one will go flush on the right. And in the image of the instructions, you're going to see a white strip, and that strip is coming from this gorgeous like feltish ribbon. It's so pretty. If you don't have your hands on it now, you'll know what I mean when you do get it. It's super soft. Love it. It's very workable. A 3/8 inch thickness, I believe, and it just makes a nice little edger on that, a color transitioner, if you will. And then across the bottom of the page, I've got a set of 4 photo mats that are all the same size. You trimmed 2 of them, and then 2 of them were the photo mats that came with the kit. So you can have those angled there. Watch for tangents. In other words, corners touching corners. We want to avoid that. And then the other 2 will go horizontally up here. Okay, so then we use these framing pieces to kind of create a frame around those objects. So we have the clouds here at the bottom and the clouds going across. And I didn't even want to cover that cool balloon, but I thought, well, the eye will complete the clock, okay? So that's kind of why I have that position there. Then, let's see, we have a caption here, Life is a Beautiful Ride. That's kind of perfect. I'm going to tuck that behind this mat here. Cute. And then I have this, the sky's the limit. And look, the dark blue we trimmed fits right in there. Okay, cool thing. I'll just take in a second, and I'll show you how I do this cool thing. So I know I said we weren't going to adhere anything, but rather than always talk you through it, I'll walk you through it. Okay, so I'm going to nest that, right? Then you could go to your trimmer, go to your craft knife, or go to your scissors, and you've got to clip the corners of your mat as well, right? Otherwise, it's going to look goofy. Then enter this nifty little thing. I have a slot punch. You could use a hole punch too. It's what I used to use before I discovered this cute guy. And I'm just going to punch a slot through the top of my newly formed tag. Isn't that cool now? I mean, it was just to cut apart in a piece of paper, but now it's a tag. And then I have this beautiful wide 7/8 inch poly ribbon here. It's so cool. I'm going to thread it and see how it just creates a nice little gusset right there. And then once I do adhere this to the page, you can do it with foam adhesive, which is what I did. I'll talk through that in a second. I'm gonna swing this ribbon around to the back of the page and just tape it down. Huh, how cool is that? This will be turned into a circle and placed here. And then you can trim out each word, ready for takeoff. And it's going to be placed within this area here, or you can just leave it, or you can skip it. Whatever you're in the mood for. I also took my handy little slot punch and I did a little mirror job. So here, I like that you can see where you're punching with this thing. Same thing, remove the corners, thread it with the pink ribbon, and that's going to be attached here. Lastly, I took some of these balloons and I pulled my trick that I did recently with the Mon Amour Eiffel Tower woodcuts. I dipped these in clear, I actually used my white pigment ink. I just put white pigment ink on here, sprinkled it with silver embossing powder, and turned these into a metal looking embellishment, or just leave them the wood color. Oh, one last thing I did with this beautiful blue ribbon, I'm gonna cut a fresh angle here. When I do this, I cut a trapezoid shape. In other words, 2 angles going inward. Then I fold with the grain in half, so it gives me a really nice finished edge. And then I took this guy and stapled him on before. Just kind of brings the eye to the caption. Nice little finishing touch. And there you have the layouts. I'll show you the finished version. Here's layout 8 with my finished wrap. Oh, and then I added that cute little pocket watch charm. Bookbinding Glue holds it in place. And I used some of my earth ink and an ink applicator to sponge the edges of my words. Totally optional once again. You can see too that I used a perforated edge circle cutting die. That's a lovely look, but that can also be just achieved by trimming the circle out with whatever you have on hand. Punch, scissors, whatever. Facing page, again, there's the fuchsia ribbon there at the top with my silver embossed hot air balloons. I think they look amazing. Here's your little stapled ribbon. Remember, no tangents. So this, look at every corner of my mat. This corner does not touch the edge of my page, okay? So to achieve that lack of tangents, I find it best if you overlap them slightly and put them at a slight angle. That seems to take care of any potential design, no-nos. Okay, let's take the base of page 7 now and slide it over onto page 8. There's our bright pink here. It's so lovely. Slide that on over. And now I have the base for layouts 6 and 7 in front of me. I'm sorry, 5 and 6. Layouts 5 and 6 are now ready to go. So I'm going to empty pocket 5 and 6. I have done it where I've emptied the wrong pocket. It gets very confusing if you do that. So make sure you empty the right pocket. Okay. I also like to hold everything in my hand. I'm going to get rid of this stuff because it's making everything very lumpy. I like to distribute from my hand because it's a lot more efficient than picking up one sheet of paper off the table at a time. I'm going to take this strip and place it on the right edge. I'll let a little of that pink show through. And then along this sheet, I added a length of this stunning washi tape that's included in your kit. I had a little piece holding that closed. So if you wanted to, you could just tear some off. This is a very important tip about the washi tape, okay? It will drive you absolutely batty to get the backing removed from this to make it sticky. So I have a little solution for you, and it comes by way of my handy little Scotch tape dispenser. So I take off a piece of this tape, and even if you kind of bend it a little bit, and then just put the tape on the back liner. And then the tape kind of holds it there while you peel off the washi tape. There, see how it came right apart? This is such an important tip, okay? You waited until layouts 5 and 6 to see it. I should probably do a separate video just and post it to the product so people know. But anyway, that's how you remove the backing. Aren't you glad I came along with that news? All right, I'm gonna flatten this and just place it there temporarily. Okay, then pick everything back up again after showing you that tip. And I will add my little angled mats here, and then the light pink here. 2 light pink, and I kind of put it in the middle, and I'll show you why in a moment. Then I have a dark pink strip that goes above and below. And then I have Until You Spread Your Wings. You'll have no idea how far you can fly. You have this sweet little balloon, which you can fussy cut. Just follow the shadow and place it here. Same with the key. I used foam adhesive to attach that. Fly high words. I cut them out and placed them in this area. And then my final piece, I stapled a little pink ribbon and added it here. And it goes quite a ways over the photo mat. So if you don't like that, you can move it somewhere else or do something different there. Let me show you the finished pages to give you an idea of how I completed everything. So on page 6, foam adhesive on this, not the key, I guess. You could do both or neither. Then here's my washi tape taking on the pink hue of the base page, which I love. I got it wrapped around to the back once the backing was removed. There's my fly high, edged with earth ink, but that can be omitted readily. Now, I did some fun stuff on this page. Oh, I have my third and final woodcut balloon, also embossed in silver. The stapled folded ribbon here. Now, I did this other fun trick here where I have a hole punch. So I punched a hole in the strip before I attach it to the layout. That's kind of important. And then I just cut a length of this white soft ribbon. The end of the ribbon is right about here and it's secured and then wrapped around to the back of the strip. And I did the same thing with the remaining open space on the bottom. Now, the last thing I did was determined where this photo mat was going to be, this pink one. And I marked on the paper where the blue balloon came in contact with the paper's edge here. And then I removed it and took a craft knife and cut along the edge of the balloon so I could slide the pink photo mat behind it, thus leaving the balloon in the foreground. It's my little foreground trick. So this is where the mat, I made my cut and the mat slides underneath it, keeping the balloon in the foreground. Okay, that's your tips, lots of tips for page 5. And now I'm going to pick it up and slide it on over. I'll pull this out and just kind of angle that over there. And we slide again in our stack and slide technique. And we also need to go back one page in our instructions so we can see layouts 3 and 4. We'll need our accordion pocket file 3 and 4 to be emptied. And don't forget your little quotation added in there. Okay, what's going on with 3 and 4? Well, this is a nice, easy beginning. We can take the light blue and distribute that 1. I know we're covering a balloon, I'm sorry. 2, 3. But this is a scrapbooking page. You have to have photos on it. A vertical pink will go here, and then 2 horizontal pink here and here. All right, now, I don't want to add those yet. First, I need to have a pink strip with that nesting on it, and then the other pink strip will go quite close to the top edge here, maybe about an inch from the top. Then I added washi tape, boom and boom. So 2 lengths of washi tape, you'll see that in a moment, and then I added these guys, okay? The light blue creates some contrast here and nests with our big caption. Now, a word about that, if you have a lot of pictures and you need the spot for a picture, use it for a picture, no problem. Trim this out, it gets added here along with our tag. This strip of words will be trimmed out and added over here on the right edge, and I will show you how that finished out in my final page here. Oh, I did another one of those little background, foreground tricks. So once I had the pink photo mat where I knew I wanted it, I don't glue it down yet, right? You just know where it's gonna live. You make a little pencil mark right here and here. Take the photo mat away, grab your cutting mat, and just cut carefully along the edge of that balloon so you can tuck the photo mat behind it. And then I added my little shaded letters right there. How sweet is that? Now on the other facing page, here's my strips of washi tape taking in the blue hue of the base page. And then my strips that are nested. This is attached with foam, this is not, stapled with ribbon here. Oh, and I added my key using our bookbinding glue. It's just amazing how well the bookbinding glue adheres metal to paper. That's not going anywhere. And I just was able to apply the glue to any of the raised surfaces and let it dry. And those are usually the things I do last. Like, I don't do this while I'm assembling all my pages. I have them all laid out and then I just add all my metal embellishments at the end, just as a little procedure tip for you. Okay, now we have one more slide and stack to do here. So I'll take the blue. It's so heavy, it feels like I have 2 sheets. Slide that over, and then we have the light pink and the base now for 1 and 2. here's my accordion pocket file once again, making its final appearance. Love this thing so much. Okay, we've got this large piece here with the stripes going up and down. That's why I had you tilt it when we were trimming. And then we have the other piece here. We're gonna add our little wainscoting, just our chair rail like you would in a dining room. Add this color transition strip and nest it with the cute little stripe that Jacqueline designed on the Cutaparts. Okay, then I added a strip again, because you get plenty of the washi tape transitioning as well, just right up against this. So after all this is attached, then you can add your washi tape. So I'd start with these things first. Now, 2 vertical pink here and here. And the room is gonna be perfect. You're just gonna have a nice little frame around that. Then on this lower right, we're gonna start with that dark blue and nest it with the remaining pink. And I know these are prints, but we're gonna use them as photo mats right there. This is gonna go in this spot right here. We have a couple of circles. We have let's see. The pink one goes here along with just Wing It. Journaling prompt here. We have florals with Take Flight, and then we have our watch gears. Once that's trimmed, that'll look great. I used the metal wing charms to put the journaling on the fly. Now, what you'll notice is that there's a right side and a wrong side to these wings, and they're all facing, like if it's right, it's this way. What you're gonna do is just flip one over. No one's ever gonna notice. And I just put these here with my Bookbinding Glue and then added the little journaling prompt. Ha, super cool. Okay, now your words have wings. I made a 3-part bow on the fly. Let's talk through it. Okay, here's the other facing page. Now again, the washi tape added and our little circles with Take Flight added. I didn't ink the edges on that one, just to show you, you don't have to. And, but I did here. I must have been like in a mood or something. I don't know. And then here I have my cute little 3-part bow made with that gorgeous fuchsia glittery ribbon. That's so pretty. And the bow just really brings the eye to the title. And then here's my winged charms. Again, you can't tell that this is technically facing the wrong way. I think it just looks really nifty. And yeah, that's the end of pages 1 and 2. I think that turned out really, really nice. And I hope you see the versatility and the potential. I know that these colors can be a little bit polarizing. Like one person might say, oh, it's way too girly. And the other one person might say, oh, it's way too boyish. Or maybe this isn't for an adult thing. Maybe this feels like it's more youthful or more baby shower or whatever. But I just want to show you something. Every month our members get a kit, a page formula within their membership goodies. And this allows you to expand the layouts that you can make with supplies you already have on hand. So I took materials from this collection, the Take Flight collection, namely a 2 light blue, dark blue, a light pink, and then the print from the card kit. So I trimmed out all the pieces according to the instructions in the formula. And I think it looks absolutely amazing with these pictures of the ice caves in Lake Superior. Like, look at the color of the water and how it just, the dark blue makes everything pop on the mats. The shade of the ice too, that funky shade is kind of enhanced and brought out even by the pink. So pretty, right? So I don't want you to box yourself in too much with your first impression of the theme that might be required for these papers. Challenge yourself just to finish those pages and put the photos you have on them, and you'll be amazed at how the photos still take center stage. That's always our goal here. And embrace the art, have fun with it, have fun with this collection. It also will make beautiful books and projects as well. What a wonderful gift it could be to give someone a lovely project made with this collection. So have fun playing. If you like this kit and you want to make some cards, my card class is also available. We make a dozen fun cards with this collection. Here's one. And I will show you in the workshop video. It's about an hour long. I just finished editing it. It's about an hour, but we're gonna have a lot of fun in this class, learning a lot as well. So that said, Take a second, hit the like button, leave me a comment maybe about something you learned today. If you're not yet a member of Club Scrap, you do save $8 on every kit you buy, so it pays to be a member and it's totally risk-free. You can skip and quit as you see fit, but membership does have its benefits, like the page formula. So come and join me again next month for our page kit workshop. I look forward to seeing you there.